Hello and good evening. Welcome to Unlocking Finance with your financial friend. My name is Ntombi, and as usual, I'm here to help you unlock your financial potential through simple, practical, and biblical money principles. We are still continuing with our Kingdom Money Unlocking Financial Wisdom Through Scripture series, and last week we touched on the parable of the talents, and also the previous week we touched on the Joseph story, and tonight we will be speaking on the widow's oil, starting with what you have. So tonight's reading is from the book of 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1 to 7. I'll be reading it in the English Standard Version. Now it reads as follows. Now the wife of one of the sons of the prophets cried to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant feared the Lord, but the creditor has come to take my 2 children to be his slaves." And Elisha said to her, "What shall I do for you? Tell me, what have you in the house?" And she said, "Your servant has nothing in the house except a jar of oil." Then he said, "Go outside, borrow vessels from all your neighbors, empty vessels and not too few. Then go in and shut the door behind yourself and your sons and pour into all these vessels. And when one is full, set it aside." So she went from him and shut the door behind herself and her sons. And as she poured, they brought the vessels to her. When the vessels were full, she said to her son, "Bring me another vessel." And he said to her, "There is not another." Then the oil stopped flowing. She came and told the man of God, and he said, "Go, sell the oil and pay your debts, and you and your sons can live on the rest." I think this is an amazing, miraculous story. It's a beautiful story. It tells us about a widow. Her husband had died, and he was a man who served God. But when he died, he left behind debt. Man of God, but he left behind debt. And at that time, if you could not pay your debt, your children could be taken as slaves to repay it. So, in this case, we see that this woman is grieving her husband. She is drowning in debt, and also she is about to lose her children. This is a very, very tough place to be in. It's painful, and weird enough, it's not uncommon. Now she cries out to the prophet Elisha and says, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and the creditor is coming to take my 2 sons as slaves." And Elisha responds with one important question: "What do you have in your house?" Now she says, "Your servant has nothing there at all except for a small jar of oil." Did you catch that? She says, "I have nothing except." Now many of us say the same thing. We could say, "I have nothing except my salary," or "I have nothing except my small business," "I have nothing except my skills," or "I have nothing except my ideas." But in God's economy, your "except" is your starting point. Now we see that Elijah tells her to do 5 things. Number 1, he tells her to go and borrow empty jars from neighbors. So we see here that there's a debt that is not a bad debt. If the debt has direction and has purpose and has an aim of multiplying or increasing or help you to generate something, then in this case, it's not a bad thing. Number 2, he says, do not ask for just a few. So now he also challenges the widow's capacity to say, don't ask for little, ask for a lot. Thirdly, he tells her to go inside her house. Number 4, close the door. Number 5, pour oil into each jar. This is such an amazing instruction that he gives him, which I think is also symbolic and also applies to our lives. So he says, go inside your house. So go into your own house. Go look for the things that you have in your house. Then he says, close the door. Close the door, meaning do things quietly. Don't do it out in public. In the age that we are currently, living in, of doing everything, in front of people, everybody must see what we're doing. We see in this case that Elisha says, close the door, meaning do it in silence, do it quietly, do it privately. And then number 5, he says, pour oil into each jar. Now, as long as they were empty jars, the oil kept flowing. We see that the miracle stopped only when there were no more containers. Now, this also challenges the capacity that when there are jars that are ready to receive, then the miracle comes in there. Now, when we see here that I want us to see and understand is that the space to accommodate or to receive the miracle was there. At times we may find ourselves expecting miracles, but we haven't taken the first step. Now, understanding our walk with the Lord is a partnership rather than, commands. The Lord commands us. God gives us commands, yes. But our walk with the Lord is a partnership. God gives us an instruction. And the only way he can execute his plan is if we obey the instruction. So obedience is important in terms of building our financial journey as well. And every other journey is that God partners with us. He cooperates with us. But there are only certain things that God can do. There are only certain miracles that God can do. He can only do it once we step out in obedience. And we see this here in the story where the capacity was challenged, and so she had to respond in obedience and make sure that there were empty jars so that God can pour into them. Now, the widow comes back and tells the prophet what happened. Elisha tells her, go and sell the oil, and with the money that you accumulate, pay your debt and live on the rest. So in one strategy that was implemented here, we see three things happened. Is that the debt was paid, her children were safe, and that her household had provision. So not only were they able to only pay off their debts, they were also able to live off that income. So now here's the principle that we get here. Your breakthrough is in what you already have. Let me say that again for the second time. Your breakthrough isn't what you already have. I'll say that for the last time. Your breakthrough is in what you already have. God did not give her a new resource. He multiplied what she already had. Now, what does this mean for your finances? This story shows us 4 powerful financial truths. Number 1, you must acknowledge what you have. Stop speaking and saying things like, I have nothing. You have skills. You have knowledge. You have time. You have relationships. You have income, ideas, and opportunities. You don't have nothing. You have something. Now, you need to acknowledge and recognize what you have. Step number 2, you must use what you have. The oil did not multiply while sitting on the shelf. It multiplied while she was pouring into those empty jars. So action activates multiplication. I'll say that again. Action activates multiplication. Number 3, you must involve others. She borrowed jars from neighbors, meaning that community as well in your financial journey does matter. Your networks matter. Your collaborations matter. No one can build wealth by themselves, or no one can build wealth alone. You need all these relationships around you to help you get there. Number 4, you must manage the outcome wisely. She didn't just celebrate the miracle. She used that money and paid the debt. She secured her household and she lived on the rest. Now let's bring it back home to us. Many people today are like this widow. We might be overwhelmed by debt, stressed about children, feeling like income is not enough, or feeling stuck. But you still have something in your house. Now, what are examples of oil in your house today? Maybe you can cook. Start selling meals. Start selling your skills. Maybe you can braid hair. Start a home salon. Or you can tutor. Start teaching students that are struggling with their studies. Or you have a car. Do deliveries. Or you could have admin skills. Freelance online or volunteer yourself somewhere in terms of helping with admin. Or maybe you understand finances. Help other people to structure their finances. That small thing can become your debt freedom tool. Now let's talk about debt practically. The widow did three things. Number one, she faced the problem. She did not hide. She asked for help. Number two, she used what she had to generate income. Like I said earlier on, you use your debt for generating income, for income generation. It's not so that you can just enjoy it. You don't go and enjoy other people's money. Use that money so that you can create your own that you can enjoy. So money, other people's money must be paid back at the time that you made the commitment to pay it back. And I've said this to a couple of people. We've seen this happen a couple of times where people would say they need someone else's money urgently. Someone else's money is not an emergency. Someone else's money is not your emergency. So you do not rely on another person's money so that it can take care of your convenience or it can take care of your comfort or whatever life that you want to live. If it's another person's money, you must have a plan on how you are going to multiply that so that you can pay back the money and live off whatever is remaining. So in this case, we see that this woman created a solution from within her reach. Now, thirdly, she paid her debt first. She didn't take the money that was borrowed to her or the money that she generated from the debt or the income generation that she got from what was borrowed and go shopping or go, spend it on lifestyle upgrades. She paid off the debt first. She made the promise and she made sure that all the debt has been covered. And so that is something that you need to implement and understand as very important, that if you're going to borrow money from somebody and you get an income, you pay back your debt first. And if you're not able to get that money back on time or pay that money back on time, communicate actively to your creditor. But it's important for you to get that principle down and make sure that you execute it and you are faithful and consistent about it. Now, if you're listening and you feel like this widow, here are the steps that you can apply. Step number one, write down your oil. List your skills, your gift, your resources, your networks. What is it that you have? Number two, choose one thing that you can use to start. You don't have to do everything all at once. Choose one thing and focus on it. So choose one income idea. Step number three, start small, but start now. So you can start with one client, 5 products, or one service. Small is not insignificant. So choose what your main focus is going to be. Step number 4, create a debt plan. List all your debts, list the dates, list the balances. What are the interest rates? What are the minimum payments? By when should it be paid up? And then create a repayment strategy. And number 5, ask for guidance. Get help. Get a financial advisor. Get a mentor. Get an accountability partner. Now, let's talk honestly. Sometimes we wait for a miracle, or we're waiting for a big opportunity, or we're waiting for someone to rescue us. But what God is saying here is, what do you have in your house? Because your breakthrough or your next level is not far away. It's already within your reach. Now, I want you to speak this over yourself. Say the following with me. Say, I have something valuable in my hands. My resources will multiply. I will get out of debt. My household will be secure. I am a wise and faithful steward. If you are feeling overwhelmed by debt, if you do not know where to start, if you want to turn your small oil into a structured financial plan, I am here to help you. As your financial friend, I will help you with debt structuring, income planning, budgeting, protection planning, long-term wealth building. You do not have to do this alone. So as we close tonight, I want you to remember this. God does not start with what you don't have. He starts with what you already have. So our key for tonight to unlock your financial potential is start with what is already in your house. You're tuned in to Unlocking Finance with your financial friend. My name is Ntombi. Join me next time on the final episode of our series as we talk about building a financial life that can withstand life's storms. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. See you on the next one. Good night and God bless.